Hi. This week we want to talk about an incident that had happened in the Yellow Sea in Asia. A Russian A-50 plane have entered the South Korean airspace and had been intervened by a South Korean fighter jet. The fighter jet had fired as a warning and also had launched the flares in order to warn the plane, and then the plane just get out of the area. So the tension had been dropped, but still it remains as it is. So why the Russian and also the Chinese planes show in the South Korean and/or Japanese airspace, and what are the indications? What we are expecting for future? So let's start with the tension in Yellow Sea. So on 23rd of July 2019, at first, H-6 Chinese bomber have entered the South Korean airspace, and then it has left the area. And with the same day, at first, the two Chinese also bomber have entered the ships have entered the area called Dokdo or Takeshima by Japanese, Dokdo by South Koreans, and then left the area. Then the A-50 Russian bomber have entered the area, and then the South Korean airjet have intervened and stopped the flying route of A-50, and it returned back to the Russian airspace. The South Korean air fighter airjet had also fired for warning and also flared fired the flares for warning purposes. So this is the first big tension between these two countries in the area, on the disputed waters, but it gives a lot of indications. First of all, and almost the Chinese and the Russian, I would say, elites have decided that they are going to run patrol, I would say, operations or activities on the disputed waters, which these were the first ones that I can think of. But as we see, either Japanese and/or the South Korean army or military intervene this immediately, even in order to show their seriousness. The South Korean air fighter had fired to A-50 Russian bomber, despite the fact that later on the Russian administration apologized for the in full the intervening the South Korean airspace. We think that it has been done on purpose, because once we see the route of the airplane, it is directly routed to Dokdo or Takeshima Island, and this gives us the indication that it was done purposely. It has a purpose. If there is a malfunction in the equipment, or the pilot has lost his way due to some other malfunctions in the system, in the plane, it will try to make some maneuvers in order to see some references on land or in the sea or in the air to make some corrective routes. But as far as we see, it didn't change its route. It just went directly to the to the island space. We think that the Russians have done this purposely, because this is going to give a lot of concerns to either South Korea and/or Japan, and this is going to increase their military activity in terms of manufacturing activities. And this is going to also somehow disturb the US interest, because Japan, due to the Second World War, had an agreement with the US where they are not going to set up its own, I would say, military, but somehow is going to protect its own shores and airspaces, but their own equipments, which are supplied by the United States. Now, since the United States wants to withdraw from the area due to the Trump's administration desire, or in general also, this gives a concern to Japan and to South Korea, where the Japanese have already started manufacturing its own fifth generation air fighter. Mitsubishi company is doing that as something like F-35, but it doesn't have the capability to land on a landing dock on the sea, which means that it will be air fighter needs an air field to operate. And the air fighter, due to specs, is very very fast, which means that they want to intervene the planes. It's not like launching an attack, but mostly to defend the country against other planes. So, having said that, it means that they are going to now more concentrate on manufacturing their own equipments, which is going to disturb the American interest, because the American, I would say, manufacturers will not sell too much, I would say, military equipments in future, which is going to disturb the economy. We consider that's why Russian and Chinese air jets intervene in these areas for future. This is not for today's, but in a coming decade or 2 decades most, that will be the main feature to focus on. Do we expect the tension to be rise? No, not at all. I don't believe that it will be, but to see the indicators, we need to wait within the August and also maybe some time for September. If these will be repeated in maybe once, maximum twice in the coming 2 months, I would say that my concern concerning the making Japan and South Korea nervous about their own defenses in order to get them out of the American interest and influence is the one that I shall follow. But if it's going to more than that, like a couple of times in a week or 1 or 2 times in a week, then yes, there's a great tension, is increasing, so something is really happening in the area. Then we will start again digging the facts. What is the Chinese and the Russian common or cooperation or co-petrol activities mean for future? Today intent really something coming up for future. Why and why not? So we need more indications to look for and to wait for, and we need for time for that. So we will report you accordingly by end of August once hopefully about this issue. If you like this video, please press like button underneath the screen, and you can also be a member to our YouTube channel. So once we publish a new video about any issue, any matter, you are going to be the first one watching this. Thank you for watching and have a great day. Bye.